What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Boy, there's a lot of people now that many are now downtrodden that were never downtrodden before in this society because they were living high on life at our expense, of course. And those people are doing not so well anymore. So there's probably thousands of videos out there of people talking about how cursed America really is. America is cursed. And you know why it's cursed? Because many of you refuse to deal with reality and all of the oppression, even the legacy of slavery. Some of y'all will be deflecting and running and doing everything you can just so you don't have to discuss or deal with the topic. Just what Donald Trump is doing. He don't want to deal with the topics of what his people have done in this country. So his alternative or his answer to it is try to scrub the history. That will never work. It will never work. You can't wait 400 years and then try to scrub a history. It's never going to work because too many people all through the generations know what the story is. Y'all won't deal with it. Y'all won't give reparations. And see, if you won't even deal with the topic, then you're not going to resolve it. So America is under curses because you won't right the wrong of what your forefathers did. You refuse to do it. So those curses are now compounding on top of each other for centuries. And it's at the point where, how are you redeemable now? You couldn't possibly be redeemable. This place can't be redeemed. It must go. There is no saving it. So, y'all, it is inevitable. America don't have much time left because America won't change. America won't improve. But I don't think Gentiles have the ability of improving anything. This is why you never saw it. They don't have the ability to improve anything. They can't do it. You know, they will watch the place fall apart before they even get a thought of fixing it. And once you went on that path of racism, there's no turning back now. There's no turning back. And remember, it's the angels that records everything you do on a regular basis. So you're talking about 400 years of being recorded, generation after generation of racism, oppression, unaliving people, unaliving their children, and showing no remorse. Yeah, well, for y'all, it's no way out. of the judgment. There's no way y'all couldn't get out of the judgment at this point. Even if you wanted to, you could never get out of it. You can't. So let's get into it, because there's a lot of people on this about America being cursed. All right. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Antithesis, thank you so much for the super chat. Alcha supporting. ADR, thank you so much for the 200 gems. Sunshine, thank you. And Cyberdyne 100, thank you for the super sticker. And I thank all of you for your support for my channel. Thank you for the ones.
I don't know if anybody else can see this, but I've always said this to myself, and I've said this to a few people in my family. I think this nation is cursed actively. And we can, I'm getting into the spiritual stuff. I'm getting into my word. I'm becoming a Christ follower. But something in me tells me that this nation, the land that we are sitting on, will never recover. And we can see this, firsthand. Look at the unrest in our nation. Look how our people have never been okay. Our people have never been at peace with ourselves. Our people have never been in eternal peace with itself. This nation has always been at war, whether it's been at war with another nation, whether it's been at war with ourselves. Since they signed the Declaration of Independence, we have seen some sort of resistance or violence attached to the name of this nation. This nation cannot rest, and it will not rest. You can't acquire a nation the way we acquired it and not expect to feel something, right? They always tell us, right? These sayings that transcend our generations, they even transcend some of our bloodlines, right? When you think of what goes around comes around, karma's gonna come get you. Karma's a bitch, right? Like why are all these karmic sayings always in rotation? Right? Why are all these spiritual sayings that basically whatever you do is going to come back, and you are going to reap what you sow, right? And this is just, these are all saying the same thing. Bad deeds do not go unchecked. Bad behavior does not go unchecked. The people in this nation will never be at peace internally because of what happened on this soil, on this land has not been addressed. And people think that, okay, well, I can do something bad and I just die and it'll just go away. Your family lives with that. Your ancestors live with that. We're seeing that today. They are living with this unrest inside of them. This is why this nation has always been at war. 11 wars. 11 wars. How much blood do you think this nation has shed? We've dropped 2 nuclear bombs. We're the only nation that has used nuclear weapons. This nation is violence. All that violence, all that bloodshed, all them tragedies these dudes thought they could do to these people on this land, whether it was the Native Americans first, then move over to chattel slavery, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Then we still got the Mexican-American War. These people were fighting everybody in proximity. It's proximity with this nation. This nation will kill if it could. This nation has violent tendencies, has violence in the spirit. There's unrest in the spirit, and it will not go away until there is acknowledgement and there is atonement. We don't know how these spiritual things work. That's the cool part. We don't know how they work. I'm simply observing how this system works. I don't know how it works, though. The inner workings, that's for God to know, right? Or the creator, or whatever you believe in. But whoever you believe in, whatever I believe in, are most likely the same person or thing or being. And they are not going to let this nation roll around in money before it has to roll around in its filth. And that's what this nation is doing. It's going to take people to understand that even though they weren't the ones who did it, someone's going to have to step up and take the bullet for this one. So they have not talked about anything that has happened on this soil. All they care about is money, 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 money. This nation is destined to fall.
You know, one thing I do know, our ancestors are buried everywhere, y'all. Everywhere. And they have hidden it and they have covered it up. And they have tried to make us feel like our ancestors are not there. Our ancestors are all over this place, everywhere. All of their government buildings are built on top of the mass graves. All right. And we already know what happened to Seneca Park there in New York. They bury everything or they put everything underwater, like Oscarville. There's been many Oscarvilles. So it's there and we're walking on top of it. You know, even where I am in New Jersey, all of this land was inhabited by the natives. And then they just bulldoze everything down and put a whole town on top of their graves. A lot of us are living on top of our forefathers' graves. That's why, you know, if you really think about it, as long as slavery went on in this country, the graves should be everywhere. They should be everywhere. And we hardly see that many. That's because many of us are living on top of our forefathers. So, no, you know, when a nation does something like that, they're not sorry for what they did to you. They're not sorry at all. Yeah, they use dynamite on their, you know, on the graveyards they were in. Yeah, they did all that mess. They're not sorry. Nobody does all of this to such an extreme and they're sorry about. They're not sorry at all. And that's why America will always be under judgment. And it's just going to progress and gets worse, just like it is. I mean, you really think about it. From 2020, when the lockdown occurred, all the way up until now, it has progressively gotten worse. You can't go on TikTok and not see these folks crying all over videos, men and women, because they can't make it out here. And what they don't realize, it's about to get worse. They ain't seen nothing yet.
You know, with everything going on right now, you'd almost think that like America was cursed or something, you know? Like it's feeling like it was built on like some ancient Indian burial ground or like. Wait a minute.
Hey, look, y'all need to stop saying God bless America, pray for America. America is cursed.
Of all the people that lost their lives horribly, tragically, children, families, communities, groups of people, the Indians, the indigenous, the African American, the slave, all of that energy harvesting where we are driving and working, and it's only a matter of time before this shit start crashing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think this is supposed to happen, because why would all of that energy be harvested on the very lands, the same streets we drive, where your house is, where you work, where you're trying to party, where that bar? Why would it not go to shit? You know what I'm saying? It should. It should go to shit. We should be depressed. We should feel something that's abnormal and unwelcoming and sinister, because Think about all the spiritual energy harvested from years and years of people suffering at the hands of so-called America, or at this so-called life we trying to live. You know, it should go down. It should go. It should be issues. Like, I would be more concerned if, with all that karmic energy that America has from killing and pillaging and colonizing groups of people over hundreds of years, and being racist and segregating and murdering, I would be questionable if we felt super great and super happy on this land.
Sounds as if you believe that slavery put a curse on us somehow.
Well, it is a curse, you know. The American sense of reality is dictated by what Americans are trying to avoid. And if you're trying to avoid reality, how can you face it? You know, if you don't know what is going on in the ghettos of this nation, in the hearts and minds of women and men you see every day, you don't, first of all, in that case, you don't really know what's going on in your own heart and mind. And you have no way of knowing what's going on in the hearts and minds of millions of people on this globe.
This is Babylon, ancient Egypt, Rome, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Nineveh multiplied by 1,000, all existing in one geographical location. It's a 2,000 by 3,000 square mile hell. That's what America is. America is Satan's headquarters. This is where the evil is rooted at and where it's spread all over the world. So, you know, we gotta come out. We hostages right now. We got to come on out of this thing. As the scripture says, come out of her, my people, that you be not partaker of her sins and her plagues. So as long as we stay among them and we participate and do the evil that they are tempting us to do, we're going to get the judgment that they're going to receive. That's why the minister is who he is. He's God's man raised to try to warn us and say, look, come on out of her, my people. We so messed up, though, that as Pharaoh yesterday with Moses went to Pharaoh and said, Pharaoh, let my people go. We're so messed up that the minister has to come to black people and say, look, my people, let Pharaoh go. He don't even have us no more. We got him. We got a bad Stockholm syndrome or battered woman syndrome. We got plantation psychosis.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, huh? That's what they called it.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all, I tell you what, this is the one time when our people have participated in so many things because we were here. But one thing I'm loving is how our people are now starting to back away. You know, the boycott, believe it or not, was very significant, because it shows how we are now willing to separate. The election, that was the first separation we saw after Kamala lost and Donald Trump won. And our people said, okay, no more protesting. We're not going out there protesting. We're not going to help all these other groups because, you know, number one, it's been very one-sided. They have never been supportive. And not to mention, many of them ran out there and voted for Donald Trump. You know, in fact, I watched a video this morning of a Haitian man that said he voted for Donald Trump, even though they lost their TPS status and they're being deported. He would still vote for Donald Trump again. I said, that is beyond Stockholm syndrome. That is beyond that. But we are not seeing any value in having relationships with Asians and many of these other groups and Africans and stuff. You know, the World Cup was going on. It's still going on. And Argentina, I did not know how bad and unruly those folks were acting at the World Cup. They were in the stands yelling all kinds of racial epithets. I Show Speed was there, and they were mocking him and making racist, shouting racial slurs at him and just treating him like crap. Now, mind you, they're over here for the World Cup, and this is how they're acting. So, and then there was an incident with a man from Argentina that called an Atlanta cop the N word. And y'all, I don't know if any of y'all saw this, but Argentina sells a big nigga burger over there in Argentina. And they are showing it online. So I might actually do that one. I just need to put it together. But yeah, they got a big nigga burger. It has black buns and everything. I mean, it is absolutely insane. I thought Argentina said they don't have any black people in their country. So why are y'all so racist? If our people are not even around you, you don't even see us living in your country, why are you so racist? So even when y'all claim none of us are there, you still are a big racist. But y'all, I'm going to show you Argentina is not as nice as you think. Argentina looks very slummy. In fact, I even typed in, because I was curious of Chat GPT, there are slums all over South America. They are everywhere, including Argentina. You know, the place where there's no black people, they have big slums over there. Okay, big slum. So I will probably put that together and show that to you. But yeah, it's very, Argentina is very slummy. The houses that they have, if that's what you want to call it, a house, it really is not that, it looks almost equivalent to Africa. So Argentina is not all nice. It's like a lot of places. They may keep the main city area halfway decent, but the rest of it is all bummy. Yeah. So, yes, America, get used to it because we ain't going back. And some of y'all want that life back that you had before pre-COVID. Y'all want that life back so bad. That life is never, ever coming back. This is now your reality. You're in your reality right now. And you know, I never thought I would see the day where white folks are on videos telling you they can't afford to buy food. I never thought I would see that day, but it's here. Even the food bank around, like at a nearby church, y'all, you should see the amount of white people over there trying to get that food, that donated food that the church have. It's a lot of them over there. A lot. I mean, our people are there too, but it's a lot of them over there. Because, you know, they like to perpetrate this fraud that we are the poor people in the country and they're just doing better, and they're not doing as well as you think. They're not. They are struggling bad. It is a major disparity between the white elite and the white poor. That gap is huge now. It used to be, okay, you had your upper middle class and your middle class, and then you had your poor. Not anymore. That gap is so wide, it's not even funny. They're not doing well. And they're upset that they're not doing well. You know, I remember one time I was out in my yard. I was just cleaning out front in my yard, and a car pulled in front of my house, and it was two white women. And they were asking me if I knew where the food banks were. They needed food. And I was like, huh? It was two white women in an old model car. The car that they were driving looked like it was from the 90s. And that's what they were driving around in. And I said, boy, I never thought I would see that day, but that day sure came. Yes. The wealth transfer is just brilliant. Darvin Valentine. Yes, that is brilliant. I wish we would have done this before, but hey, I'm happy we're here now. Mhm. Oh yeah, you know what, when the opioid epidemic was really out in the news, I started seeing the white, mainly white males. I didn't see too many of the women, but I would go to stores and they would be outside the store panhandling. I saw several white males doing that around me, but I didn't see too many women though. Mhm. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to this day, don't they still try to claim we were the biggest welfare recipients and we never were? They still try to keep that lie going. And we have never been the biggest welfare recipients in this country. But that's a lie not only white people keep telling, but immigrants are even. And I don't know what immigrants got their mouth closed. Many of them come over here and they immediately get on welfare. You know, I saw a video a few days ago of a Haitian man, and he was talking about, oh, Black Americans on welfare. If you go and look, a lot of these Haitians were on welfare. Many of them are still on welfare. The ones that are here, they're still on welfare. What the hell are y'all talking about? Y'all come over here and immediately get on welfare. Unbelievable. But yeah, America, you know, at this point, your curses are inevitable. You better get used to it because everything is downhill from here. Ain't nothing going to turn around for y'all. Mm-mm. Y'all couldn't even put on a decent 250-year anniversary. Look, the white supremacists went to DC to march, and that same day, y'all had to run into the Black Museum for shelter. It says it all right there. That says it all. Even they had to run in there. So, you know what? No, them curses are definitely real. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude for this one. I do have another upcoming live, and this is on the immigrants constantly going on video claiming we are jealous of them, despite the fact that they come from third world countries. And they're sitting in our face talking about they are better than us. They are making more money than us. None of these groups are making more money than us, y'all. These Mexicans ain't hardly making more money than us. None of the Latino groups here are making more money than us. The they're all saying that though. The Africans are over here, they make more money than us. Actually, no, they don't. Okay, and no, they don't. None of these immigrant groups came over here and they're making more. It's a big lie they have been putting out here for years now, and it's not true. It's not even enough of them in this country to be making more money than us. It's not that many Africans over here. It's not that many Caribbeans. When you tally the numbers up, they don't even add up to our 50 million that we have here. So, no. So we'll get into that at 1:45. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Thank you to the people that donated to my channel. And I will see you at 1:45. And don't forget to pick up your hair products. Shalom, family.